Yo, this is the Ray and Low Show, and we on. It's the Ray and L.O. Show. Yo.
Yow.
Listen, that intro is so lit, and it was created just for us. Oh my goodness.
We just found this out. This just in.
Super lit.
We thought you found it on YouTube or something, Slim. We didn't know.
I'm no longer sick, so can we give God the glory and the honor and the praise for healing? Can we just do that?
No coughs this episode.
No
please.
coughs, no loogies. Raina had a loogie prior to
That was between
starting.
the people in this room.
No, it's not. Loogies are gross, and I was tired of hacking those up. So thank God for healing. I had to get 2 shots in my butt, one in each cheek.
TMI.
One in each cheek.
TMI. Not one in each cheek.
One in each
That
cheek.
is not significant information
I
at all.
had to get a steroid shot and an antibiotic shot, and so healing was found. It was. So I'm back, and I'm better like a Bryson Tiller. Just kidding.
Lord. All right. Hi, guys. Welcome back to The Art of the Funny Girl. This is episode 2.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
Sorry it took so long, but, low
been-
schedule.
My schedule is crazy, but
It's crazy.
it's well worth the wait because we've been on a quest, and we have some things to tell it on the mountaintops. And so when we left off on episode 1, I was saying that Raina and I were getting ready to go to Amsterdam, and we did.
And we did. And
We
it was
journeyed
a
over
blast.
to Europe, and it was her first time. And we got into a little debate about the airplane food business.
We did.
And I told you she'd be back to tell it. And so she's
First
here
of
to
all,
tell
let
it.
me say,
Okay.
I got the 5-star treatment on that flight.
Okay, so listen.
I did.
She can never ever say I've never done anything for her, because not only did she get on the flight that I was working from Boston to Amsterdam, she was in Delta One, which
Delta
is
One, which is first class.
first class,
Okay.
international, flatbed seats, pillows, blankets, all you can
It
eat,
was lit.
watch,
Oh my
drink
God.
for free.
For the free ski.
So
It's really not free because anytime she needs hair or makeup or anything else, or babysitting or anything, I pay on the back end.
Wow,
Best believe
it's
it.
true.
I pay on the
She
back end.
deserves this. It's
All
fine.
right?
It's
But
all right.
let's just say the entire flight, I maybe slept. It was a 6-hour flight. I might have slept 30 minutes because in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy this flight. I'm about to lean back. I'm about to get all this pain. That's champagne for short. I'm about to get all the dessert.
No one says pain. Pop open the pain. Like, what?
Let me get the pain. That's exactly.
Slide me the bubbly.
Slide me the bubbly. I watched every movie I could fit into that 6-hour time.
Ridiculous.
I really did. I was so sleepy, but I was like, Lindsay, you gotta enjoy, get the most out of this experience.
So I was working, and I
was.
asked to work in the front of the aircraft so I could be her loyal servant.
To be my butler. Oh, butler. Let me get the pate and the croissant.
Mind you, everyone's being real diplomatic, like, oh, I'll have 1 drink, 2 drinks, this one over here. Slide me all of it. I want the champagne, I want the red wine.
I said, I want
Give
the
me 2
Jack and
Jacks.
Coke.
I'm like, you know what? We're not about
I
to.
was the only one drinking hard liquor. Like,
We're not about. Everyone's drinking mimosas and stuff. We're not about to have to divert the aircraft because you're over here intoxicated to the point of no return. Like, get out of here.
the most that was gonna happen is I was just gonna have a nice little sleep, but I didn't get that.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
would you wake up
beyond.
from this sleep is the
Oh
question.
yeah, for sure. My liver is very accustomed
Anywho.
to this lifestyle.
But so we went to Amsterdam, and oh my gosh, first of all, it was a beautiful day there. It was wonderful. But wait a minute, let's get back to this food though. So now I have to pose the question, go take it back to my interview days. How was the aircraft food?
Okay, so
Please enlighten
you
me.
guys will see in our visuals. I got barbecue chicken, and it was some sort of like quinoa or something unidentifiable, like a bed of quinoa with like a big old hunk of chicken with some sauce on top. The sauce was good. The
And the chicken?
quinoa
I don't eat the. I don't.
undercooked. It was undercooked. It was
subpar.
It was crunchy. It was a little crunchy. And the chicken was good. It was seasoned, but it was just I don't like white meat. It was just, do you ever get like that big piece of thigh that's just dry.
Yeah,
And you're trying to get through it, and the amount of sauce did not equal the amount of chicken I had. But other than that, I mean, alcohol equals hunger, so you're gonna consume whatever is put
I
in
ate
front
the
of
chicken
you.
too, and I threw the barbecue sauce on there. I put the salt and pepper on there. I was cutting
It wasn't
up.
bad. It
was
wasn't
good.
as bad as the flight that I was talking about in episode 1. So I will give them that. It was
Dum
not bad.
dum dum.
However, if you put it in front of me now,
I mean, of course. I mean,
yeah,
nobody's gonna say, "Today I'm just feeling airplane food. I just want some airplane food."
some people love it.
But I mean, I'm gonna say this: the coconut chicken in the main cabin, I had it coming back from Amsterdam, and I loved it. I put the Thai soup on top of it, and you dip it, and it's good. It's good stuff.
But coming back though, horrendous. The meal was horrendous.
What'd you have coming back?
The gefilte.
You know what?
It was whatever fish y'all had. It was like halibut or
No.
like some type of strange fish that you're not going
but let
to
me
buy.
tell you something. Just aside off GP, everybody know you don't go eating fish from everywhere, okay?
Yeah, but
you
the
eat it at
reason
the
why,
fish fry,
because
or
y'all
you eat
know,
it-
I told y'all I'm on a diet, okay? I'm on a diet, and I was already drinking alcohol, which I was not supposed to be doing because I'm on a diet. So I was trying to find the
the
healthiest
healthier
option on the menu.
I
And
see.
going to Amsterdam, it was like the menu was mainly like American type food because it was nothing but Americans going there. But coming back, it was mostly foreigners on the flight. So the menu was completely different. I think like the appetizer was like curry,
Yeah.
something or other with like bean sprouts. And
Yeah, it's market specific, but you know, I ain't trying to. I support my airline 100%, child.
so I
love
got
them,
through
so.
it as much as I could, but I did not. I wasn't able to down that one. That one I had to just let it ride.
Well, child, let me just say that the city was beautiful. Amsterdam is one of my favorite cities. Like, I really like it. I actually like it more so than I like Paris. But then again, I haven't seen everything in Paris yet because every time I go, I end up going by myself. And I don't get to see everything. But it's a beautiful city. It was a beautiful day.
I was impressed with
was wonderful.
the sereneness of the city.
Yes,
If that's
very
the word,
quiet.
because there was mad people outside. But
But you
when I say
didn't
you
hear
could hear a pin drop,
anything.
like if I farted, best believe the birds was gonna come come out the trees like
First of all, the birds were going to
excuse-
die.
Excuse
They
me,
was-
excuse me, ma'am. Don't ever come and pollute our skies like this. Like
The birds was going to just stop dropping dead. Like, like
American tourists held responsible for killing
10
a
bird
rare
deaths.
species of birds in Amsterdam. You'll never guess how.
Wow,
Flatulence.
Like, you're nasty.
Oh my goodness.
You're officially nasty.
But it was so quiet. Everybody
And then we
was
witnessed
so
these dope. I don't know if you guys follow us on Snapchat, but you probably should because you're missing out. But we Snapchatted these dope street performers that we watched for like at least 15 minutes. They were going hard in the paint. All they
played a
had
little
was like,
Outkast.
yo, they played "Shake What Your Mama Gave You." No, it probably wasn't "Shake What Your Mama Gave You," but you could definitely sing those words and it went along with it perfectly. But they had water jugs. They had like household items, and they had their sticks. And from that, they made music. And it just goes to show, like, if you're talented,
It
you
doesn't
don't
matter.
need much.
Yeah, you don't need
You know what I'm
money.
saying?
You don't need the materials. You can, especially in the area of music, it's very easy to just explore that creativity without any type
Yeah,
of
but just think
money.
about them kids that used to be in your class and they get the pencils and they go
Grinding. Don't forget the clips.
Yo, them kids used to go off. Everybody had them kids in their class that take the mechanical pencils and get
Not,
the
you don't do
beating
that with
on
the mechanical
desk.
pencils. You don't disrespect.
could.
You don't disrespect the mechanical pencils like that.
I
you gotta use the
mean,
regular
I
number
s-
twos.
Dude, I saw some people
Exactly.
with the mechanical.
Not that's people that
The
lived in
mechanicals.
Eagles Landing Country Club.
the rich kids
Yeah.
had the mechanicals.
Had the mechanicals.
When we was
Everybody
down
else
at the cab county academy in Lithonia, they had the number 2 pencils
down
and
to the
then
nub, and then half of the beat was they knuckles hitting the table because
Getting licked.
The pencil was so small.
Yo, but it was really dope. And then there was these chicks. They came out there. They was trying to do some liturgical dance. I don't know what they were doing. some type of
You know.
praise and worship child. I don't know what was going on.
All they was missing was the ribbons.
I was like,
you don't get out of here.
Y'all need to go
They
ahead.
playing a full Outcast out here.
Shake what your mama gave ya. No, but it
Lord.
was awesome. Like I would go back. I've gone way too many times at this point, but
I don't think so. I think
it was fun.
if I ever, when God blesses me to be in a financial position to where I can have multiple homes, amen, I'm claiming it in Jesus' name.
Hallelujah.
That's gonna be a place that I could see myself.
Yeah,
like,
definitely
having
get like
a little
flat.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on
I
here?
don't know.
What's
Twitches.
Twitches?
I don't know. We're in
man.
sync today.
No, but like it's a nice. It really is a nice area. So anyway, I when we were coming back, there was
Okay, let me explain it.
Yeah,
First of all.
please.
Let me explain it. So we were with a band of Laurel's flight attendant friends that they all worked that flight, and we all stayed in the same hotel. And coming back, there was one gentleman who was a flight attendant, but he was non-revving that flight, which means he was like me. He was flying standby.
yeah.
So we came up with a master plan that once we got to the airport, when the other flight attendants had to go forward to work the flight, we would stick together. We would find our way through the airport and journey to get on the flight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Getting in there, first of all, I don't know why he was like sprinting to the gate, but
Because
he's 6 feet and I'm 5'1". So one step for him is like 5 steps for me. So calves were burning by the time I even reached inside the
Thighs
airport.
were chafing.
Thighs were chafed. Okay. I had no time for bathroom breaks. I had to just trudge on. Secondly, they kept trying to separate us because he was a white gentleman. And although I'm very fair skinned, if you look at the roots, okay, I'm still very much so African American. So they kept trying to put him in a different line than me, put him in the front of the line. I'm in the back. You know, I try to scan my passport. My passport's beeping like it's unauthorized or something like that. And he's skipping on through. So we get to oh my God, it was traumatic. It was a traumatic experience, but I'm trying to be optimistic and just let me get to the gate. So we get to the point where we're going through security. And if you know anything, if you fly, you go through security, you got to put your hands up and it scans you. You come out and it'll let you know like if you're good or if they need to pat you down or whatever. I go through, the screen says it's all green. It says okay, which means ain't nothing wrong. I can go forward.
Ciao.
But here comes Helga. Doom, da, doom, da, doom, da, doom. And she's like, is that a wig? And I'm like, a wig. She's asking about my hair. And I'm like, yeah, that's a wig. And she's like, oh, no, you have to take it off because we have to make sure you don't have contraband.
Oh, you part wig.
I said, you want me to do what? Meanwhile, I'm Flavor Flav underneath. Like, it's all braids.
I wouldn't even say Flavor Flav. You're like genuine. Cornrow stopping at the back of the neck.
No, I'm like, what's his name? Brown sugar, babe.
D'Angelo?
D'Angelo,
No,
yeah.
D'Angelo braids have some hang time. Them braids have no hang time.
Because my braids are, I have a decent length of hair, but my braids are like
but I'm saying
stitched up.
they stitched.
Yeah, they're stitched to the scalp. I'm looking like little Bill under here. So I'm like, oh no, I'm not taking my wig off here, like not in front of the masses. So she's like, well, we have this little room. I turned behind me. It's literally like, it looks like a porta potty. The most jankiest closet type area.
It was the detention room.
Detention room.
Come on.
They escort me. They wouldn't let me put my shoes on. So I'm walking through with no shoes. And she proceeds, once we get inside the room, to try to remove my bobby pins for me out my wig. And that's when I had to tell Helga, excuse me, ma'am. I need you to give me 50 feet. Like, this is so inappropriate for you to try to take my bobby pins out my hair. Do all of that. Wig is lopsided at this point. There's no mirror in there. Don't know how to put it back on. And she's like, oh, you can find a mirror somewhere, a bathroom somewhere when you get out of here.
Nah, B, that ain't gonna fly, see?
So with,
you have to
so with my head held high and my shoulders held back, I marched out of that room.
I gathered my bobby pins.
I gathered my pins.
And my dignity. Bobby pins in one hand, dignity in the other.
And I trudged along. And then
still I rise.
And then here's Christopher standing with all my belongings, like,
aw, Chris, shout out to Chris.
Shout out to Chris. He was so nice about it. But he's like, I wasn't gonna say anything, but you were so totally just profiled just now. And I'm just like,
No kidding. Welcome to being black in America.
oh my God.
You're gonna get profiled.
Oh my God.
friend.
It was the funniest thing
Or
ever.
not even
So-
in America, because that was Amsterdam. So
Oh my God.
there's that.
I'm like, dang, what if my wig was sewn down? Like, what would have happened then?
Sis, this wig is sewn down. So guess what? What y'all gonna have to do? Y'all gonna have to get y'all the little stuff, you know, when you be picking.
I should
through
just
to
said
see
it
if
wasn't
you're-
a wig, because what she was gonna do, try to take it off my head? Like,
Well, here's my thing. You know, I just feel like that's such a humiliating experience. Like, people don't even understand what
I
it's
don't think
like
I was
to go through.
humiliated though.
I
I
don't
was
think you would be, but
I was more so like, yo, y'all wilding out. Like, y'all really
I know, just ready to be like,
y'all really
so y'all bugging. Wow. Like,
wow.
wow. This what we doing?
This what we doing now?
Like,
y'all
that's-
taking
that's
wigs
how-
off now?
I think that's how we respond to things. But I
Yeah.
think that naturally, any human being that kind of comes to the realization, like, wow, they're not doing
like,
this
what
to
if I had
anybody else.
alopecia or something? Like, I would, like, that's so uncool.
It is. Or a cancer patient or something.
Yeah,
you know what
like,
I'm saying?
You making me
But-
strip my dignity. I'm trying to hold it
But
together.
y'all, wait. So she all the while she's texting me. I'm on the plane. I'm boarding everybody, or I'm trying to board, and she texts me. She's like, Laurel,
I was like, I'm pissed.
like they made me take off my wig. So I'm telling all my friends. I'm telling this other shout out to Dwayne and Flo because they flew with us. Dwayne is Atlanta based, and so is Flo. And so I'm like, Dwayne, like, oh my gosh, my sister just texted me. She went through security. They made her take off her wig. Like, the wig though.
Not the
Like
wig.
the wig. So I'm just waiting. I keep looking at, the door to see if her and Chris got on the plane or where they're at or whatever. They finally get on the plane, and Dwayne goes up to her. He puts his tender hand on her shoulder. He's like, sis,
And we locked eyes.
the wig. Like,
And I was like, the
sis, they
wig,
made you do
bro.
the wig. Like, yo, it honestly, when it was all said and done, it's funny, but it's like,
Funny.
sheesh. Like,
Immediately, like, after it was over, I was like, this is going on the podcast for sure. Because
so just know that if
if
you
you
go
don't
over
wear a wig
there
to Amsterdam,
and
don't
you
wear a
got
wig.
wigs and you pop wigs,
Sew
and
it
all that
down.
stuff, child, you better glue it.
You better
Do a quick weave.
do a,
Put the glue the tracks down with the
Put a
black glue.
put a front, not the black glue, not in the front.
I don't know, child. What y'all be using? I only had a quick weave one time, and it was. Can I just say,
Shout out to
the
Evan
hair
Nicole.
guru, Evan, because she laid that quick weave. Okay, that was the best weave. People thought that was my hair. They're like, dang, Laurel, your hair just flowing. I'm like, surely.
$700 weave, and Laurel just cut it out.
Can I tell you, my journey lately, I got stuck in Boston. So we apologize for the delay on the episode. I was not able to get home. And so I went to New York City to see my best friends, Tasia and Dee. And y'all, I get lost everywhere I go. It doesn't matter where I go.
Laurel
I get
is the
lost.
least dependable person.
I mean, God
ever
has
when
been
it comes
growing
to
me in that
directions.
area. He's been growing me in that
No,
area.
he hasn't.
Yes, he has, because I used
No,
to
he
get
hasn't.
lost in downtown Atlanta, but now I can go there and do my thing. And,
Laurel's been to
whatever.
Amsterdam 17 times. I went the one time, and I was directing her. I'm like, no, we definitely came off of this street.
I
We
went-
did.
I've
You
only
sure?
been 3 times. And
You
to be-
sure that you sure we're supposed to be?
Are
You
you-
sure?
Are you gonna let me finish or not?
Yeah, go ahead. Go
All
ahead,
right.
go ahead.
So when you go down there, you'll see that every street looks the same, unless you stumble into the red light district, and then you look up and you see naked women, and you're like, "Wow, this isn't where we came from." And then you kind of realize you're in the red light district. But anyway, got lost.
Pause. Chanel just scared the crap out of me.
Hey, Chanel.
I just saw your face. I was just like, what?
So I got lost in New York City. I was on the phone with Tasia, and I'm like, oh, I could do this. I'm gonna fly into LaGuardia, and then when I get to LaGuardia, I'm gonna get on the M60 bus, and the M60 bus, I'm gonna take the train, all this stuff, right? She specifically says get on the A train. I get on the D train. Okay.
Huh? Like, see, it's like simple stuff like that like really makes me question.
But I was
like,
lost.
Did
in
they
the
mail you
sauce.
your degree yet? Or do you have it in hand? Or is it still
But which one of us at
of-
this table has a degree, and which one of us?
we don't
does
know. It hasn't. I haven't
not?
seen it. We don't know.
Anywho,
We
so
don't know.
I get on the D train and I look up and I'm like, I'm 4 stops. She says on the A train it's only 2 stops. At this point, I'm 4 stops and I'm like, wait a minute. I look at the orange. I look up and there's an orange D looking at me, and I'm like, yo, I can't do this. So now I'm having a mini panic attack at this point. So she tells me I'm going to 168th Street. So when I get on the D train, the fourth stop is 167th Street. So I'm like, yo, if I just get off on 167th Street, all I got to do is walk a block up. And so I'm like, okay. So I call, I'm like, bad news and good news. Bad news, I got on the D train. Good news, I'm getting off on 167th Street. And she's like, nah, it don't work like that. Like, 168th Street is not after 167th. I'm like, what? So she's like,
what kind of metric system is this?
What sense is that? After 167 is 168th. I get off. She's like, you got to get off the train. You got to go back. You got to cross the street, get back on the train, go to 145th Street. Then you got to get on the A train and go. I was like, wow, this was a bad idea. This was one of the worst ideas I've ever had.
But see, the thing is, had you just got on the A train,
it would be 2 stops and I would be there.
and you would have been there.
So it was me
So
getting lost.
what's the message that
The message is this. Get off your phone and look up and
Yeah,
make
that's
sure
what
you
I
see
was
the
gonna say.
right letter.
Get off your phone.
Because I sort of, I literally, I was freaking out. And then, okay, real quick, this is what really had my heart in a fluster. I don't know how people live in New York City because in all the years I've been going there since I was 15. I've never seen rats. I saw rats. I saw so many rats. I literally looked down in the train station and I looked at the tracks. It was rats just scurrying. They were just scurrying. It was just
Because you're invading their space. That's their space.
And I'm talking to Tasia and she's like, well, you're lucky they're not on the platform with you. I'm like, on the platform, like next. I literally was sweating so bad. By the time I got to Tasia's house, I was so musty. I was flustered. My sweatshirt was drenched. It was raining. I had on my Roche.
Musty.
First of all, Roche shoes are the worst shoes to wear in the rain. Don't you ever go outside in no Roche shoes because your whole feet, socks, everything gonna be wet. I just was like, wow. When they say concrete jungle, oh, they ain't lying to you. It's a jungle, okay?
Not concrete jungle.
But the rain cleared up and the sun came out and we had a great time and we went down to the Hudson River and it was nice, you know? But moral of the story is pay attention. You will get lost there, okay? Lost. And you will see rats.
Rats will find you.
I don't know what the rat protocol is. I said, do I stand still? Do I act like they don't see me? Like, do I need to not make any sudden movements? I don't know what to do.
What is the rat protocol? Nothing?
I don't know. Because if they're buck wild like that, they don't care. You can stand there, they're still gonna walk up to you like, give me all your stuff. And I'm gonna be like, here you go, my dog. I'm tripping. Here's all my luggage.
Yes, everything
that I own, I can give it
I
over
don't got
to
no
you.
cheese on me. But I could go
get you some cheese from next door, or we can
go together.
I want some cheese too. But
God.
I literally was like so nervous. But shout out to them, man, because I haven't seen Deep in so long, and to be able to kick it with them was so nice, and we were just laughing. I was a little bit inebriated. We had some.
Girl.
We had some elixirs.
Elixirs.
But yeah, man. So I've been on a quest, and real quick, I talked about how I was sick, but I didn't know how sick I was, and I had this other wonderful encounter with a man named Andre Norman. Shout out to him. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, @JustLow, 2 T's on the just, because if you put 1 T, I don't know who you're gonna be following. He was sitting next to me on a plane, and he ended up taking me to the hospital, y'all. And when I tell you, it was one of the most
sketchiest situations.
It was sketchy, but it was a God.
It was
he was
sketchy.
like an angel.
When she was texting me and she was like, yeah, this man from the plane about to take me to the hospital. I'm like, have you totally just lost it?
Let me tell y'all something here. I ain't no fool, okay? My mama ain't raised no fool, because guess what? I told him to pass me his license. He gave me his license, his social security card, everything. I took a picture of everything, okay? And then we were in a rental car. I needed the rental car information. He sent me the lease agreement. I had everything in my possession. I sent it out because I needed to know. I needed to know who he was. And turns out he's like a big deal. He's a bigger deal to me, you know? But
a big deal like what?
He's a motivational speaker. He's Harvard University's like honorary speaker, London University. He's been on TED Talks on CNN. He has like all this stuff, and he turns out to be this like great. But y'all, here's the kicker. After we spent, like, he takes me to the hospital, he takes me to the pharmacy to get my medicine, and this is like all at 2:00 in the morning. By the time we parted ways, it was 3:00 in the morning, right? He neglects to tell me he did 14 years in prison.
See?
So we in a car, and he's like, well, what's worse than the day you're
He's
having?
in remission.
He's
Ooh,
like, what's
girl.
worse, the day you're having today or doing 14 years in prison? I'm like, well, who's talking about prison?
Who's in
Why
14
we
years in prison?
What are we talking about here? He's like, me, I used to be the top gang. I'm like,
Oh, does his door unlock?
I'm like, it's a fun
You
time.
should have led with that. Like,
Let me
this
tell
is
you
this is
something
what you should
here.
have told me from the
I
giddy
I
up.
start Googling him. I'm like, 14 years. Y'all,
For what?
He was originally sentenced to 100 years in prison. He
Girl.
got his sentence reduced to 28 years, and he ended up serving 14 years. He was released, and he now advocates for prison reform. He visits prisons all
so
over.
he trying to
In education reform. He was the top gang leader in all of Boston. He was actually supposed to be the head guy, and they wanted him to kill 7 people for him to be the head guy. And he said, you know what? I just woke up and decided I was tired of killing people. I said, well, I got my medicine. I'm doing good. It's time for me to go.
Time to part
You
ways.
sure you're done killing? Because I just,
Oh boy.
so no, but he actually, I talk to him all the time. He does phenomenal things like Family Guy. I mean, I took a risk, but it ended up being phenomenal. And literally, we're in the hospital, and like he's talking to me. He's like, "Listen, you gotta just go to work. I know you're sick, but you gotta do this." And I wrote the whole story on my Instagram. I won't go too deep into it, but it was hilarious. It was something you see in a movie. And then there was a chick at the pharmacy that her boyfriend was trying to make her steal. And she didn't. She had a bad
Y'all was doing
leg.
too much.
She was limping into the CVS, and she didn't want to steal. And the boyfriend was like cussing her out. And he said, "See, that could be you." And I said, "You know what? You right."
How y'all know he was trying to make her steal though?
They went in the store first. The boyfriend and his friend went in the store first, and they was trying to steal, but they was hawking them. The people at CVS was hawking them. So he came out. He was like, "Dang,
Y'all better
man."
know CVS don't play.
He was like, "Dang, man, I wasn't able to get nothing." And his boy was like, "I wasn't able to get nothing either. They was on me." So then they get the girl out the car, and they like,
I'm
"It's
done.
your turn. Get your pocketbook. Let's go."
Oh, come
And
on,
me
not with the
and-
bad
yo,
leg.
and then he goes, "Why you trying to make his girl steal with a bad set of wheels?" I said, "Andre, let me tell you something right now. I was cracked by the end of it. I was so sick, and I hadn't been to bed or anything. But I was cracking up. And he's
Not
like,
a bad set of
just
wheels.
remember, that could be you. She's having a bad day. Are you having a day like that? So you know what, brother? I'm not.
Ain't nobody making me steal.
Thank you for perspective.
That-
It's all about
it's
perspective. You got to put things into rotation.
Oh boy.
But so if you're wondering where we were, that's where we were on these adventures. We went to Amsterdam, New York City. I was in Boston apparently at the hospital, and then I came back and I got those 2 shots I was talking about in my bottom.
We're not gonna reiterate that.
So,
Well, I want to say this real quick before we wrap this thing up. Upon returning back to Atlanta, I went to one of my favorite eateries, known as Chick-fil-A.
get out of here. Oh, matter of fact,
And
hello.
as we're eating right now in the stew, and you know, if you've ever been to Chick-fil-A, it's known for its very chipper demeanor. Everybody there is like almost too happy all the time. Drive through, inside, the kids in the playground are just having the best time. And so I order my food, I pay my coins, I get to the second window, and there's something not quite right about.
Not quite right.
Not quite
It's not
right.
giving me the Chick-fil-A vibes.
Yeah, I'm not feeling
Not
the
feeling
Chick-fil-A
it.
vibes.
Not feeling the extra Polynesian.
She literally shoves the bag.
You don't do no shoving at Chick-fil-A.
Not at Chick-fil-A, okay? She shoves the bag in my window, drops my money in the bag, didn't give it to me in my
You
hand,
lying. Oh,
which
that's-
is like already me, my homegirl Nisha is like, okay, what's going on? And then she just turns around, and Nisha's like, "No, have a good day." Like, you're not
No,
gonna say
it's my
have a good
pleasure.
Right? It is your pleasure. Don't ever
I
forget
would
it.
have had to call Truett himself. Like, Truett, let me tell you what's going on.
So
here
let me just
down
say
at
this: if you have an attitude like that, Chick-fil-A is not the place for you. Let me name a list of places where you could possibly be employed.
Taco Bell.
Johnny Rockets.
Don't do Johnny like that.
Where else could you go?
McDonald's.
Wendy's, McDonald's.
McDonald's
Duh.
is the place for you, my friend.
Notorious. There are plenty of places you can go with that kind of demeanor and attitude.
Well, moral of the story is
Don't work at Chick-fil-A with that.
keep your attitude at the house. If you don't do it at Chick-fil-A. Okay. But y'all, it's been a pleasure. Episode 2. And Art the Funny Girl, hit us up. We are always looking for people to hit us up so we can hit you back and show the love back that you show to us. And thank you for the plays, man. We're like at 200 plays on SoundCloud. So
Hey.
shout out to y'all.
I know we can get more than that, people. We know.
Hit us
we
up
know
on
y'all
YouTube
out there.
so you can see our beautiful faces that our mama and our daddy created. So I'm
Love
Lo,
ya.
and I'm out.
I'm Ray, and I'm in.
It's the Ray and L.O. show.